So over the last 12 months, I've been able to close over $1 million worth of deals for my agency and my clients' agencies combined. I've got a live webinar recording here where I was actually on a roundtable full of recruiters and we discussed how you can actually use AI to maximize your results from cold email. In this video, I break down everything, my unique ways of doing it, and pretty much how you can do this completely by yourself. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and let's get into it.
But I know this was one of the questions that I've had about what scripts we can actually use that make a real difference. And this is sort of things that I've noticed running the scripts that we have and what's worked across the board. What we've seen to work is you need to stand out and be remembered. If you can give the prospects what they truly want, they'll be more likely to engage. This is like the number one thing that stood out for us. If you can give the prospects what they truly want, they'll be more likely to engage. And that's why, based off my experience, if you have a great most placeable candidate, those campaigns do work. Just because a lot of the time, if the company is in need of someone like that and you're able to potentially give them that person or give them access to that person, then they can convert really highly. That's really what I've noticed in terms of the business development campaigns. Now, some structures and scripts, I can go into some actual campaigns we're running and show you the insides of those. Before I do that, there's a little bit more on it. Obviously, short and sweet, open-ended to encourage a conversation, and end outcome orientated. Everything, obviously, we want to sell our end outcome, not our process. We don't want to talk necessarily about how we do things, but just what the end result of it is. And oftentimes, if a company really needs someone, marketing a candidate can be very successful. And I'll show you a way which is sort of pushing the boundaries of this as well. If you want to do this, it's just a great way to stand out, but then it ties into different sales approaches as well. It's not something that's recommended for everyone, but it's just an interesting way of looking at it. It's something quite different and quite new. So what we've done in the essence of this to basically create a great most placeable candidate is we found a way that we can integrate this with Google Sheets. So this looks extremely messy, but what I've done is before this call I just scraped another search of Apify for directors of finance in Canada. Right, so this is just straight from Apify, the straight search there, and this is giving me all of this data. So it's giving me the job that's open, number of applicants, but most importantly, it's giving me the job description for every single one. So there's a lot of data in here, very data heavy, but I've got it all in this spreadsheet and every single one has the job description. What I've been playing around, what we're able to do now is actually use GPT in Google Sheets. So you don't need to use Clay to do this. You can integrate it straight with Google Sheets by going to extensions, and it's actually an add-ons. You get a free add-on and it's called GPT for Sheets. So you can integrate ChatGPT into your Google Sheets. What we do here is we want to give, like any AI or any GPT, you want to give it a prompt. This is just a very simplistic prompt that I created before this call. And it says, create 3 very short bullet points summarizing what the perfect candidate would be for this role based off the job description. Only include details about the candidate in concise bullet points, no other info. So basically I'm asking it to give me what this person is looking for, what the hiring manager is looking for in this job. So here, and this without me reading it. So here it's obviously looking for a CPA certified with a minimum of 5 years in combined accounting and finance roles, blah, 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 all this stuff. And the beauty of this is you're able to do this at scale. So I can basically just copy one of these, go down to here and just pull this down for loads of these. So that's the prompt. And then all we need to do here is basically put this into a GPT function. So equals GPT, highlight this, and hopefully it will pull the 3 bullet points. The reason why you might want to do this, and maybe it takes some cleaning in this Google Sheet, which will take 5 or 10 minutes to clean up, would be you could export this CSV, put it into your email sending software. I'm sure it would allow you to do custom variables in Loxo or SmartLead or Instantly, and you could have this as a custom variable. So as well as saying, hey, name, and it would pull in the name from the spreadsheet, you could say, hey, name, I saw you're looking for and then pull in the job title, a corporate controller, and then this is a custom variable with CPA certificate. This is a bit extensive. I'll probably shorten this down with the prompt, but you could list to them exactly what they're looking for. And we can do this at scale because all it would be taking this GPT prompt, finding it down, and now it's just loading them. So it's creating all these bullet points in the back end. You can see here, it's just loading for some of them. Sometimes we need to refine the script slightly, like the prompt, so it doesn't pull in other information. You can see I have asked it to not pull in other information, but sometimes it will. So we'll just go back and rechange the script. But you can see here, we've got strong proficiency and these qualifications, stuff like this. Basically, we would just check all of these, make sure they all make sense, and upload this into an email campaign. So every single, maybe it's a CFO we're reaching to, every single CFO gets a different email that's personalized based off the job description, if that makes sense. And you can just do this at super high scale because you can just continue to pull this down in the spreadsheet, and we could do this for every single one, right? I really only came across this very recently. And and we're just rolling it out now. So it's a very powerful tool. Now, I thought, let's go a step further with this. I don't just want to pull this data. I want it to get me to write the full email, completely automated. So what I've got here is an example of a prompt I put in. It says create a very short bullet pointed summary of what the perfect candidate would be for this role and create an email around how we have that person. Keep it very concise and short, exactly tailored to the job description of this role. And then I've included the job description of the role. And this is an email. Once again, this is a not optimized prompt. I wouldn't push this out, but this is just the first time you're reading it. Dear hiring manager, I hope this obviously we don't want to say I hope this finds you well, but I'm introducing an exceptional candidate for a controller position at company name. And it's got all of the stuff they're looking for in the job description and why this candidate is a perfect match for them. And you could just once again pull this down for all of the data, get AI to write all of the emails and get this sent off into your like sending software, whether it's Loxo or Smartlead or Instantly or something like that. And that's what we've been able to put together.
Now we can create a resume that's perfect for that job and put a name on it.
Exactly.
Attention.
Exactly. So it's a very good way to get hiring managers' attentions, right? If they're looking for someone and we create the perfect candidate for them with AI and tell them we've got that person, we've just seen it get a lot of responses. So that's one thing that you can do, and you don't have to use Clay to do that. I think this one with Google Sheets, the reason I've done it in Google Sheets because it's so much cheaper. I think I put like $20 in and I probably ran 1,000 lines through this, and it's cost me, let's see how much budget I've got left.
And you're using their API?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm using my GPT API, yeah. So just hook it up. So I've got $14 left. So you can see to what decimal it goes down to in the dollars. So it's not very expensive, which is good. You can run a lot through it.